name's Sue and this is my real life story. I'd like to start by asking a question. Who am I? Jesus asked the same question of his disciples in Matthew 16:15. He asked, "Who do you say I am?" Some of you may know me as Susan Sueville, daughter of Mary and Alan, who grew up in Crantock Avenue, Headley Park, and went to Headley Park Primary School. I never went to church then, and I really never knew God in Jesus. I was christened as a baby at St Peter's Church and brought up according to the Ten Commandments and knew right from wrong. I got married to Andy when I was 29 and became Sue Hayter. Some of you may know me as Andy's wife. I had Sophie and James and became their mum. Some of you may know me as that. I also became involved in the local community centre, raising funds and organising events. Some of you may know me from there. Later on, I helped out at church with both club and adventurers. Some of you may know me as Waggles the dog, Alien, Monkey or Parrot. Hopefully not too many of you. More recently, I started working at Headley Park School in the reception and now the nursery, and some of you may know me as Mrs Hayter. Undoubtedly, the person who knows me the best, better than myself, is God. And as it says, "O Lord, you have searched me, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways." I first truly came to know God through my daughter Sophie, for which I am forever grateful. Thank you, Sophie. At the age of 6 or 7, during an Easter service which I was attending with the mums and toddlers, Sophie then asked if she could come every Sunday, which I was not happy about, believe it or not. The reason for this wasn't because I didn't want her to know God, it was because that was our one day when we rested as a family at home. But I took her and I took James, and they both started coming until James started playing football on a Sunday. But Sophie still continued to come happily. It was later on that I met Elaine and Neil Todman. They joined the church, and what was Crossways Tabernacle soon became Headley Park Church. Also at this time, my mother-in-law became terminally ill with cancer and sadly later died. During this time, I began staying in for the services as I felt very welcome, and the church would pray for me and pray for our family, and more importantly, pray for my mother-in-law, Pam. During one of these services, Neil was talking about a man who'd had cancer, but put his trust in Jesus. It was at this time that I had a very physical experience. I felt an overwhelming feeling of warmth through my whole body, which I couldn't explain. All I know is that suddenly everything made more sense, and my fear of dying that I'd always had since I was a child left me. And this to me was amazing. I told somebody in the congregation, a young lady called Rachel, about my experience, and she encouraged me to speak to somebody at church. So I spoke with Neil and Elaine Todman about my experience, and not soon after became a Christian, a church member, and then got baptised. Whilst being a Christian is great, it is not always easy. It doesn't mean that I no longer mess up or face challenging and difficult times. What it does mean though is that I am not alone. Jesus is there with me to guide me, comfort me and love me. He is my rock and my refuge. When I face dark days, he is my light, and I am so thankful for this. I eventually got baptised on Mother's Day. Soon after, my own mum and dad started attending church on a Sunday, and later they got baptised together, which was a true blessing. But later on, sadly, my dad was taken. He had a stroke and he had to go into a care home. But during this, my strength and my dad's strength was knowing Jesus, and it helped us through lots of very, very dark days. And during this time, I started reading a book called Grace for the Moment, which was given to me on my baptism from church. And unknown to me, at the time of my dad's passing, I was reading something titled Absurdities and Ironies. And there it says from Luke 23:46, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." Shortly after reading this paragraph, I had a call from the care home telling me that my dad had passed. And then shortly after that, I had a call from my brother from Australia. He'd actually just arrived in London and was boarding the bus to Bristol to come and see my dad in his final days. And I had to break the news that Dad had gone. And it was titled correctly, Absurdities and Ironies. And that to me again was Jesus speaking to me. But instead of feeling sad, obviously I miss my dad, I miss him every single day. But I know that I will see him again. And that is the best and most amazing thing. People may say, being a Christian, well, that's great for you, Sue, but it's not for me. But it is for everyone. I feel so thankful that Jesus came to Headley Park to find me. But now I realise that he was always here. I just needed eyes to see him, ears to hear him, and a heart to receive him. May the Lord direct your hearts into God's love and Christ's perseverance. Thank you for listening to my story.